You know what they say, sun's out, fun's out, but don't allow the sun to deplete your fund account. We're here with Dick Peffley from Lansing Board of Water and Light this afternoon, and he's going to show us how to manage the heat and air conditioning this summer. How are you doing?
Hot.
Hot, yeah. Let me tell you, you're not the only one. It's not only steaming inside and outside, but all across Lansing. We've been seeing these really, really hot temperatures, and you know what a roller coaster of a ride Michigan weather is, so hey, it might even go up from here. But tell us, what are a few tips that we can use to keep energy costs down, especially when a lot of us like to blast the AC?
An easy one is keep those blinds closed. Allows the heat to stop at the blind at the window, not come into the house. Helps keep the air conditioning load down. If you have ceiling fans, run those. Move a little bit of air around.
Okay.
Try not to run that oven. You know, if you can cook out or use a microwave, it generates a lot of heat there. And you know, even most houses now have LED bulbs, but they still generate some heat. And if you're not in that room, turn the lights out.
Okay, a lot of tips right there. And can I tell you a really big one that's underestimated is just closing the blinds, closing those curtains.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how much heat is seeping through. Sometimes I will tell you, I do like to have a little daylight. I like to have a little sunlight. But with the heat that we're having, when you just keep those blinds closed, it does all the work almost for you.
You just have to stand in front of the window, close the blinds, you'll feel the difference.
Yeah, you'll feel the difference. You definitely feel it in your pocket too on top of that.
Well, and you know, you can tweak that air conditioning set point up a degree or two. You know, that'll help save on energy. It's a little warmer in the house, so but you'll save a lot of money. The air conditioners use a lot of energy. That's
right. And speaking of air conditioning, we have a lot of different appliances in our homes that do use a lot of that energy that we're talking about. So are there any good online tools that people can use to check that at all?
Absolutely. You can log on to the WILX website, and there's a calculator on there. So you pick out your appliance and put in there how many hours a day you're going to use it. It'll tell you what it costs to run, so you can get an idea.
Really?
You know, what each appliance uses and what it's going to cost you. And so you might say, well, maybe I'll move that to off-peak where it's cheaper to run, save some money. But it's a very user-friendly app. Just, you know, figure out which model stove you have, you know, generically, and put in, I'm going to use it 2 hours a day. Here's what it costs you.
Yeah, very user-friendly. Now, can you actually just walk us through that process just a little bit more as to how easy that is when we go online and we enter that in there?
Yep, so log on to the website, go to the calculator. Very easy to find, and it'll say lighting. You can put in your light bulbs that you have and how often you're going to run them, and then it automatically calculates, and there's a column on the right hand side, so it's going to cost you 10 cents an hour to run that. And they all seem like small numbers, but they add up at the end of the month. So you can manage that. And if you can move any of those appliances to off-peak by programming timers, like your washer, your dryer, your dishwasher, you'll save money there too.
That's right. All those little numbers quickly, very quickly, before you even catch them, will add up. And remind us again what are peak and off-peak hours. I know a lot of us know, but it's always good to just remind us.
On peak is 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. Weekends there's no on peak. Holidays no on peak.
Gotcha. All right. Well, now something else that we have to talk about, Dick, are the demand response programs that do help during these super hot days that we're feeling. So can you explain how those work and how they also help customers save money too?
Sure. First, they help the utility because we don't have to make as much energy when it's the most costly to make. But it also helps the customer because if they enroll in the program, we will take and have access to their thermostat. And on high heat days, we can raise the set point between 2 and 4 degrees for a maximum of 4 hours. And that allows the air conditioning to run less. They save money there, but it helps us save money when you're producing energy during the most costly time of the day. And if you enroll in that, we'll give you a $50 gift certificate. And at the end of the season, we will take and give you another $25 if you participate in half of the energy events. So if there's a day that comes along and you think, I really don't want my thermostat to change today, you are ultimately in charge of that. And those events are pretty infrequent. So it's an easy way to get $75 in gift certificates by letting us manage your smart thermostat.
All right, well, a gift certificate, and today you told us a lot of different ways that we can conserve our energy, save our funds, a lot of different tips that you listed out for us today, and I'll be making sure I'm doing each and every single one of them, starting with closing the blinds. But thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
It's always my pleasure to be here.